Hello, guys. My name is Desmond, and I welcome you to my lesson for today, where we will be looking at mathematics. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, please do allow me to say it is very much important that I say it is very, very much important because Bantu Bakiti. What I'm about to say, it's massively. Hey, massively important, ladies and gentlemen, that I say a day without learning something new, it's a day wasted. By so saying, Hami, so please, honorable member, please do make sure that by the end of each and every lesson that I conduct, you learn something new. Massively important, ladies and gentlemen, over there. So, for the last time, Bongi, can you please confirm, honorable member, if you can clearly see there and if you can clearly hear me before I start with the business of the day? Kabzamale day. Can you
Hello,
see?
sir. I can
You
see
hear me?
properly. I can hear
Okay,
you properly.
100%. So, ladies and gentlemen, without any waste of time, I will start with that, with the hope that we will get to that. And most importantly, I'm hoping that we will learn a few things out of this type of questions, so that going forward, we'll be starting with some exam type of question paper. So I try to look for those unique or a bit tricky question. And most importantly, let's please do make sure to do as many mistakes as possible. Reason to that is because that's how we learn. I don't get too excited when we get everything 100% correct. It helps when we make mistakes because it is during this time where we need to where we need to do mistake and correct those mistakes, so that in exam, when you are about to make a mistake, you will notice that I'm about to make a mistake. And most importantly, you should be able to hello, I come back. Can someone quickly Umi the Umis, can you see there? Can you hear me? I was
Yes, sir,
disconnected.
it's very clear now.
Okay, 100%. So remember, Bantu Bagiti, I did say at all the times, with a pencil somewhere there at the corner, you can do that thing of Morena Jesu, Sefapano, and say cast diagram. So this is what we call the cast diagram. So let's see. This one, this is where you ask yourself a question to say, in which quadrant does this angle fall? You realize it falls in the fourth quadrant. Okay, now that it falls in the fourth quadrant, no, it can't be the fourth quadrant. Can you see? Why? Because it has a plus sign there. So these are the type of mistakes that I'm referring to, Bantu Bagiti, to say, Since you see 360 and an angle, do not always assume it falls in quadrant number 4. Check that sign. If
Sorry,
it's
sir.
positive, yebo.
I can't see. Can you lower your
Honorable
board a
member
little?
cannot see. Lower the board. Okay. This is what happens. Letoya James, just click on your screen where you see that board. Don't see a list of attendees. Click there, it's going to maximize. So to everyone who's new to my lessons, don't have a situation where you have your screen and then this is just a portion of my whiteboard, and my whiteboard is somewhere there. Then you have list of attendees. So click here, it's going to maximize. Did it work, honorable member?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
100%. Okay, so let's see very quickly. This is what I was saying. In which quadrant does that angle fall? I think what I ended up concluding with myself during my high school time, I ended up saying whatever that I'm having as 360 plus an angle, I always assumed for it to be falling in the first quadrant where all trigonometric ratios are positive. That's what I concluded with myself. Unless if I'm given a number where, for example, they can say 690. Can you see if 690 is going to be 360 degrees plus whatever angle? So at all the times, if you remember, I just said I always assume this to be falling in the first quadrant. And then from there, that's when I'm going to work it out accordingly. We will notice if we get to that type of a question. So that means in this case, this is in the first quadrant where all the trig ratios are positive. So that means, according to me, I'm just going to have positive sine of 100, a sine of an angle, and then it ends there. I'm not sure if there's someone who's got a question in relation to that, but I think it was a straightforward problem. Anyone who's got a question on that one before we move on to the next question? Or are we all on the same page on that one? Okay, let's make a tick on that one. Remember, just in case if it doesn't make sense, that's when you will then unmute your mic, mention your name, and I will recognize you so that you can ask a question. So let's have a look at the second one, which is cos of 540 degrees plus angle beta. Okay, now let's see, how do you then work out this type of a problem? So let's see. The best thing to do is to say, since this angle is greater than 360 degrees, break it down. Why do you have to break it down? Because it's greater than 300. So that means this angle is actually 360 degrees plus something. Then you still have that plus beta there. So the question is, what is that value there? And this is how you work it out. You just get the difference between those two values. You can just say 540 minus 360, it gives you 180. Okay, so that means the whole of that, it's actually the same as cos of 360 degrees plus 180 degrees. And then from there, you still have that plus beta there. So this two is the same as that. You just break it down into two. Why did you have to break it down? It's so that you can easily manipulate it. Bantu bagiti. How do you manipulate it? So you still have your cos in 2. Then can you see? You have 360 degrees plus this angle, which is what? 180 degrees plus that. I'm not sure if I'm losing you guys on that one. Have I lost you on that one, or are we still together? Libandla la kaNkulunkulu.
Still together.
Still together, 100%. So, if you guys remember, I just explained now to say every time when I have 360 degrees plus whatever angle, it doesn't matter whether it's 270 plus whatever, it doesn't matter whether it's Desmond, doesn't matter whether it's Hamisa. As long as you have 360 plus, I always assume it to fall in the first quadrant, where in the first quadrant you are having all those being positive. So that means this is the same as cos into a, what is it? In this quadrant, cos is positive. That is why I'm having positive cos there. So it's going to be cos of the whole of that being what? 180 degrees plus that angle beta. So can you see? Now you can easily reduce it by saying 180 degrees plus beta. It takes you into the third quadrant where cos is negative in the third quadrant. So that means this is negative cos of angle beta. That means it ends there. I'm not sure if it makes sense to everyone, guys. Are you sure I'm not losing you on that one?
No, still following.
100%. So maybe Hamisa, I'm well aware that you do know very well. Let's try to assist honorable members of the opposition party in terms of how do you prove. If you want to prove, you can substitute angle 30 there. I normally use 30. Use 30 there, then say cos into 540 plus 30. Also use 30 there and say negative cos 30. Check if it gives you the same answer. If it does, then it means everything that you have done there is correct. Tembana. Sometimes it happens that you punch there, it gives you, let's say 4, and then you punch there, it gives you 7. Then you know you made a mistake somewhere. So what I would do, I would then test using this. If I get 4, then it's fine, that step. I test again using this. If I get 4, then it's fine, this step. I test there, then if I get maybe, let's say 8 or whatever, then I know this is where I made a mistake. Then this is where I now pay attention to correct that part. Does it make sense to everyone? I think it does. I think it does. Okay, so now let's quickly move on to the next question. So remember, guys, you might not need to write everything that I'm writing. Soon as I'm done with every question, you can take a screenshot, and then from there, you will then try to work those on your own. The main aim is so that you fully understand. Okay,
Sir,
let's try.
excuse me, sir.
Yebo.
Can you please talk a bit slower? Today you're running so fast. It's so hard to catch up.
Oh, is it the explanation? I'm explaining too fast, ne?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Maybe let's take, but with this one, number 2, are you okay with that one?
Yes, sir, I'm okay. I would just like you
Okay.
to speak a bit slower.
Okay. Let's now move on to the next one. So let's see. Turn into, hey, what is examiner doing? Can you guys see? Normally, we know angle starting with either 180, then you have plus or minus an angle. And then you are having either what is it, 360, whatever. It could be 270, it could be 90. Then you have a plus or minus angle. But can you see? Today, examiner has done something differently. Maybe let's try to rewrite this thing in the manner in which we understand it by starting with that number. I'm not sure if Libandla la Nkulunkulu would agree with me in saying to rewrite this one, honorable members. I'm not sure if you agree, offense, to say if we want to end up having a 180 and then an angle there, we might need to play around with the signs. And I think if we want to end up having a positive angle, negative 180, I think if we take out negative to the outside, it's going to work. Let's see, because if you say this times that, it takes you back to negative 180. If you say this times that, it takes you back. Yes. Yes. The Maumis, do you agree with me on that one? I'm not sure if Tembele Pama agree with me on that one.
Yes, sir.
100%. So now this is what happens. This negative, Nkanyezi, this negative, you can take it to the outside. The law allows you to take it to the outside. So that means you are going to have negative tan of 180 degrees minus that. So can you see? Now it's in that format that we know. So, bongi the mabongis. Now you start. 180 degrees minus an angle. In which quadrant? I think it takes you in the second quadrant. Yes, because it's 180. In this, is tan in the second quadrant negative or positive? I think it's negative. So remember, this is that negative that you took out, so you still have it. So you are forced to now open a bracket because this tan has a negative. Where does it come from? From you saying this takes you in the second quadrant and tan is negative. So that means you're going to have negative tan of that. I'm not sure, Kabelo, if you agree with me to say with that invisible one there, if you say the bada, what does it give you? It gives you a positive invisible one tan of an angle. Just, I'm not sure if I lost honorable members there. But wait, did I do things correctly there?
Yes, sir, I understand.
Yes, sir. It's correct.
Let's try to test. Because it does help for us to make some mistakes. Let's try to quickly test it. There, let's punch tan into 30 minus 180 degrees, and then we'll also punch that one. Let's check if it gives us the correct answer. So I just want to train you guys on how to test if your answer is correct or is wrong. Remember, the main purpose of today's exercise is not only to get answers correctly, but it is advisable that from time to time we make some mistakes so that we can learn from those.
So I'm getting the same answers correct.
Hey, let's see. Voga malamba. Oh, uvugile malamba. Okay, let's see. Turn into 30 minus 180. Okay, positive that. Tan 30. Oh, yes. So, I'm not sure if honorable members agree with what I've done there. And does it make sense to everyone before we move on to the next question?
Before you move to the next question, can I ask something there?
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask? Am I allowed to ask?
Yes. You are recognized, honorable member.
Okay, I wanted to know from the one that you've marked with the red
Mhm.
with the red marker. Can't I say
Mhm.
there? It's another way, but I just want to verify it, not the way you've done it. If I say
Okay.
tongue, and then I get tongue, and bracket those big brackets, the big
Mm-hmm.
bracket, and I say 360,
Mm-hmm.
and I say 360 minus bracket 180
Mm-hmm.
minus 180 minus theta bracket, and then that big bracket.
Minus theta and then that big bracket. Mm-hmm.
This is the other way that I'm thinking of it, and I would have not changed anything. To me, it would still be the same, but I would have removed the negative. So I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
I'm
Let's say. Okay. Let's say. What is then going to be the next step?
what is going to be the next step?
Yes.
So I'm going to say, because it's going to be 160 minus 180, isn't it? 360 minus 180. So it's going to be right tongue,
Mm-hmm.
right tongue, a
Mm-hmm.
bracket,
Mm-hmm.
180 minus theta.
180 minus theta, ne?
Yes. It can
Okay.
yes, because the 360 will minus the 180. It could be my theta is positive. I mean, from the word go, my theta was supposed to be positive. Sorry, it is plus in bracket. Inside the 180, it's plus, it's positive, because from how it was given to me, it was positive. So the theta is positive, ne?
Yes.
Not
Yes.
minus, it's positive.
Mm-hmm.
So could you please do
Oh.
plus there?
Oh, wait, a plus here. Okay, no, now I see. So you're saying a plus
And
here,
on
ne?
top the
Because
plus.
is that times that here you're saying
On
I'm
top,
putting a plus here.
yeah, it's a plus there as well.
Oh, a plus there.
Yeah, because originally my theta there is positive, isn't it? The only number that was negative to me, it was the 180. So I was going to say then tongue equals to tongue theta. Then my answer was going to be tongue theta from there.
Tan theta. Okay, but now it seems to be correct. I'm just wondering if maybe you could give an explanation to that step. Maybe we could learn something out of that, because it does look correct. Because what you did, it was just to rewrite the whole of that in this format. So let's see. If you say that by that, that by that, you end up having 360 degrees minus 180 degrees, and then let's see. And then, yes, that by that, it ends up being negative theta. So what is this minus that? I think it ends up being positive that, and then you have minus theta there. So, hey, Moleboge, but this one, it doesn't take you back to there. So that means with you doing this, you have tampered with the original question.
Okay, but okay, my understanding was I'm not tampering with anything when I'm using the 360. I'm
This
doing
one.
it so that I deal with the negatives. When it is given to me in the form that it was given to me, I was going to add the 360 in order to remove dealing with negative tongue. Hence I'm using that form. Hence I'm adding the 360. I would have not changed anything. I would have just been dealing with removing the negatives given
Removing
to me.
that.
Yes.
Okay, maybe let me ask it this way and say, is this what you're saying? Let's say there we have theta, and then you say minus 100 degrees, then you are saying you plus 360, of which that
Yes.
360, maybe let's start with it. So you're saying tan 360. So it's more like you're saying this is just to remove or to have it written in that, let's say, standard form. And then that
Yes. That.
angle is plus angle, and then you are having minus 100 and that. Maybe let's compare
Yes.
it with this one. So it's more like the initial one was correct, because this one you have tempered with that. Maybe you know what I mean when I say with this one you have tempered with the original problem. It's because, let's say, if we substitute 30 there, and if you substitute 30 here, it won't give you the same thing, which is an indication that you tempered with the original problem. I think it was correct when you initially have a positive here and then a minus here, because
Yes,
this
I
is the
had a
one that
positive there. I had a positive. No, my 180 is
wait,
negative according to the original. Okay.
your 180
My
is negative, yeah.
it's my positive is it's filter there.
Yes. If it's like this, you haven't tempered
Yes, it's like that. I've
with
not the only
that.
that I've swapped them. In my case, I've just, but it's like this though. How I'm doing it, it's like this in order to deal with that negative, so that I don't have to carry negative tongue everywhere there.
Let me see. I'm just trying to check. Okay, maybe Moleboge, let's say if we come across a similar question, let's try it again using the Moleboge method and see if it's applicable to every question. And if it does, then we note it down on our list of everything that we need to remember. To say, if you don't do it that way, you can still try to do it this way. But what I'm noticing from what Moleboge is saying, she's saying, since this thing is not written in that format, she used that to rearrange it. I'll also check it from my side, and then either on our next lesson or when we come across the same type of a problem, we'll try to work it out. Just everyone note it down there. But Moleboge, what you have done up to the end, we ended up getting that. Okay, this is what I want to say, Moleboge, to say at all the times, regardless of whatever method that you are having, it's always best to learn it deeper to an extent that you can explain it to everyone and they fully understand by connecting the dots. So by the dots, I'm referring to whatever that they already know. So for now, let's put it aside and then we will investigate. But when I say I'm going to investigate, Moleboge, I want to confirm whether you can at all the times with any type of a problem work it out that way. For now, I won't confirm it because I haven't confirmed. So I'll confirm and then I will let you know. So let's see. Anyone with a question on that one before we move on to number 4? No question. Okay. I've already made a tick. Okay, so now let's move on to the next question and see how far we can go with that. Hey, Moleboge, I like the way you call that tongue and theta. You know, it sounds like you're saying tongue filter. I'm not sure, Moleboge, if I'm the only one who's noticing that. Can you also hear it, Moleboge?
Yes,
Tongue filter.
you are correct there.
Ladies and gentlemen, so there we are having sign negative filter minus 90. So let's see. Sisoyenza kanjani le nto le? If you remember Bantu Bakithi, can you see now? Examiner has done it again, where we are now having a negative angle, negative that 90 degrees there. Let's maybe try to rewrite it in the format that we understand it. So you can safely say sine let's see, sine, we want to write it as 90 degrees and then having a filter there. Maybe let me do this one of the corners. When do you do this one of the corners? That's if you know you are going to have some more brackets inside. So for us to end up having this thing, I think that's if we have a negative there, we're going to say that by that, it takes us there. If we have a positive there, that by that, it takes us back to that one there. Okay, so now let's see. I'm not sure. Offense, do you agree with me on that one, honorable member? I'm not sure if that makes sense. Zbuda, Mjagana is here. Jackie Cooper, are you okay there, honorable member? This one,
Yes,
just
sir.
this part. Do you
No,
agree?
it's correct. Yes, I
Okay,
agree.
100%.
100%.
So you remember they say you can take out that negative to the outside. I think the law allows us to take it to the outside and now say seeing 90 plus filter there. So this is what we are now having. So now, if you remember Bantu Bagiti, I'm not sure if you guys remember that when we are dealing with this line, having let's say 360 degrees and then 180, what is it, 180, yes, 180 degrees. If for example you have sine of 180 degrees, it could be plus or minus angle. If you are having it could be cos, tan, or whatever, as long as let's say it's 360 degrees plus or minus an angle, this trig ratio remains the same. This trig ratio remains the same. But the moment you are dealing, that is why I was saying, I think this is what we call supplementary angles. Angles along this line of the x-axis. Just correct me if I'm wrong there. So when we are dealing with angles along that line, what are those? It's 90 degrees and 270 degrees. So I think those are called complementary angles, something of that nature, where if you are now having, it could be a 90 plus or minus, it could be a 270 plus or minus, doesn't matter whether it's sine, tan, or whatever. There, that's when you have a trig ratio changing to its reciprocal. I'm not sure if there's someone who can back me on that one. Anyone who agree with me on that one, Bantu Bagiti?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 100%. So now let's try to work out this problem. Maybe let me give it to someone to just explain how are you then going to work out that one. Just give it a try.
So may I try, Kabel?
Yes, give it a try, honorable member.
Okay, so since sin is already negative, you're gonna write down the negative and work only with the sin bracket 90 plus theta, closing your bracket. It is gonna give you the cofunction, which is cos theta.
Cos theta. Hey, we have three names. May I call it theta, the Makabzen, theater, Moleboge, filter. Hey, akusasoshuba ngiyakutshela. Hamisa, uyazizwa lezi zinto lezi. Sinemagama amaningi. Okay, but kabza the Makabzen. Uphumaphi ukhozi? uphuma phi manje? Umthathe phi ukhosi?
So you're working with the angle 90, which is one of the complementary angles. So if you're working with 90 to 70, you go for the co-function.
Okay. So these angles are what we call the complementary angles, nay. And then what about 360 and 180? These are what we call, is it supplementary? Thanks,
It's supplementary.
Okay. So now here comes a question. If I'm having sine there, you guys are saying it changes to its co-function. So that means if I'm having sine, it changes to cos. If I'm having cos, it changes to what? I think it's going to be sine because you guys are talking about the co. Okay, now what if I'm having tan? It's going to change to what? What is the co-function of tan?
Cot.
Do you guys agree with that one? Lwandiswa, do you agree with that one?
It's undefined.
We don't usually work with tan 90.
Undefined.
Math error, you cannot solve.
Maths error. It's not make sure. Yo. And the honorable member of the opposition party is correct because even on the functions, when you say tan 90, it's an error. When you say tan 270, it's an error. So that means for now, let's always remember that the co-function of sine is that, the co-function of that, it is that, and not expect tan of those angles. Okay, but this is what I expected Kabza. Okay, since Kabza the small exists, let's say Kabza the big. Kabza the big, this is what I expected, honorable member. You see, you are saying 90 plus takes you to this quadrant. Then you say, in this quadrant, is sine positive or negative? Sine is positive. So that means you still have that negative, and again, you still have the positive of sine in this quadrant. And then because of you're dealing with complementary angle, then it changes to its co-function being cos of an angle. Then in the end, you are having that by that, which takes you to negative cos of that. The reason why I'm saying this, Kabza, is because just in case there's honorable member who doesn't understand what happened to that negative, because sometimes if it's not cos, and let's say if it's not sine, let's say it was cos there, that negative somehow it was going to disappear. And for you to clearly indicate how it disappears, that's if you go through that. But now, are we all on the same page, honorable member? We all agree with everything, isn't it?
Yes, we are on the same page. But can we do it the other way, because it's the same thing again, to prove that am I wrong, so that I throw it?
Yes.
So that I throw it
Yes,
if it's
yes,
not
yes.
okay. So don't
Yes, let's give it a try.
okay. Yes. Okay.
Okay, so Moleboge, this is what I'm going to do. When from your side, you just call out in full what I'm supposed to write. So you won't need to take any pause. I'll just be writing.
Okay, write sign again, write sign, and then write the second step that you wrote there. The second step of removing the minus.
This one.
The second step, yes. Yes, that one.
So what am I writing? Exactly as it is.
Right, exactly as it is. Then the second step, you're going to say sign, and then bracket, then 360 minus 90 plus theta.
A bracket of the corners, or
Yeah, corners. And you're going to say 360.
So that means it's 360 minus into 90 plus an angle, and then we do that. Okay.
Yes.
So let's see. From here, so it's more like this thing. It takes me in that quadrant, or maybe let me not. Let me wait. So what are you saying there, Moleboge? You're going to say what?
Okay, but the way you've okay, because if it's like this, then I must minus it. I'm going to change it in this case because it's going to change. How am I going to discuss? No, let's leave it here because I think I'm going to, because I'm going to get 270 from there, isn't it? Sine 360.
Yeah.
So
So it's more
I think I'm going to temper with
like,
my.
in short, you're saying you're going to temper with the original problem. Okay.
Yes, because I'm going to get 270. I'm going to get 270 there.
Yeah, okay. No, it's fine. I think for now, I won't completely forget about that. In the end, I'm also going to work it out. So for now, let's say separately, you and I will try it on different problems. And then on our next lesson, we'll try to make a conclusion. So maybe let's say for now, we'll just continue with the one method. And then the second one will run a test or experiment.
But though the answer is going to be the same, because when it gives us the 270, the answer is still going to be the same because we are going to still use the sign is still going to change to become negative cos. But I don't know. I think I would have tempered, but the answer is going to be the same.
Sorry to interrupt.
No. I suspect. Yes, Hamisa.
Sorry to interrupt, but I actually agree with her because I use the same formula at school and when I'm practicing, and it does give the same answer. So
it does, because it's along that same line. Being, what is it? Honorable member said the complementary that, and then here we have 180 degrees. Here we have 360 degrees. So it's more like Moleboge with that approach. It does work from what I notice. It's only that from my side, I'm just lacking a better explanation as to how I can advise other honorable members. So that's why I'm saying, even on my side, I'm also going to give it a try. But in case if we still come across the same problem, let's also try it again. I think this is going to now be the opportunity where we just keep on testing that to see if it works. So let's maybe tick that and say it is done. And then now, hey, okay, now let's quickly do that second one, which says cos squared 150 degrees. Okay, anyone who would like to also give it a try, that one? Anyone who would like to give it a try? In case if you've got no idea, please let me know so that I can try to work it out.
So, may I give it a try?
Yes. Give it a try, honorable member. And remember, Kabza, don't skip steps, ne? Just make sure that even those steps that it feels like it's not necessary to explain, include them, every step.
Okay. So we know that we got like I don't know what to call them, but equations where you be like, I don't know what to call them, sir. But yes, sir. We know that cos squared theta, it's going to give us -1 sin squared theta. No, sir, it's what? Sir, it's 1 minus sin squared theta. Yes, sir.
1 minus sin squared theta. Do we use theta or 150 there, honorable member? Or you just giving
We
the
use,
formula there?
sir, I was given the formula. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And
wait.
then so you're gonna
Honorable
break
member
up
said it's giving the
the
formula. So you were saying cos squared theta is equals to 1 minus sine squared theta. So this is the formula that you were giving, Moss. I had to write it that way. This is what you're
yes,
saying, most honorable member. Okay, continue.
yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna substitute the theta, since you got like cos squared 150, you're gonna substitute on the other side. It's gonna be negative. No, it's 1 minus. Yes, sir. And then break up
Continue.
the 150, which is gonna be 180 minus 30.
Okay, what am I writing?
So you write 1 minus sin squared, which is gonna be in brackets. So you're gonna write 180 minus 30. And so since like sin is to the power of 2, you can separate the brackets, make it into like sin 180 minus 30, and then sin 100. So it's still negative. No,
Okay.
1 minus. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I forgot that part. So it's more like you're saying sine of 180 minus theta there, and then I still do the same, ne?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, continue.
And so you know that 180 minus is in the second quadrant, which is gonna give you a positive, but in brackets.
Positive in brackets, ne? So that means
Yes,
positive sine 30, positive sine 30.
and so
Continue.
it's gonna give you 1 minus sin squared. Yes, no, sin squared 3. Yes, sir. 30. I mean, yeah. So, sir, you're gonna use your special triangles. So, sir, you know that
let's see. Konje, that what does it say? There is 19, and then 30 is there. Then we have square root of 3 there. We have 1, we have 2 there. I think I'm correct. Remember, guys, you need to know this one by heart. If you don't, usenkingeni ngiyakutshela. Usenkingeni, ukhakhathini. Okay. Kabza the big. Masiqhubeke ntombo. What are we having from there?
so you're gonna say 1 minus 1 over square root of 3 in brackets.
1 over square root of 3.
In brackets to the power of 2.
Okay.
I'm still working that one out. Okay. which is 2/3.
2/3. Wenzeni, did you punch the whole of this on your calculator?
Yes, sir.
Okay, maybe let's check. If you say 1 minus into over 1, at the bottom you have a square root of 3. You do that, you close, you say square. Hey, why am I getting error? No, I made a mistake there. Let me do that. Yes, I had to go on the side and then square there. She's getting 2/3. Okay. Honorable member of the opposition party, thanks very much for giving it a try. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4,
Can
5, 6, 7. Okay. Another one to give it a
Question.
try.
please give it
Okay.
a
The
try.
question, yes.
So I have a question.
Let me
I have a
firstly take
question.
a
Why
question.
you
Order, honorable members, order. Okay. Who's got a question? Mention a name.
Lerad?
The one who's. Oh, is it Lwandiswa
It's Lerato, sir.
with a question?
Lerato.
Hey, where are you, Lerato? Where are you hiding? Oh,
Sir,
there.
I have a
Okay.
question. It's
Lerato, go
me,
for it.
yes. Sir, I want to ask
Mm-hmm.
to the second step from in the last step.
Oh, this one, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, so the definition of sine is opposite over hypotenuse, but you used adjacent. You said 1 over square root of 3. You're supposed to say 1/2, because when
Hey,
you're using 30 as the reference angle, it's 1/2.
I think Kabza, there's a mistake there. Maybe Kabza the Big. Do you agree with that mistake?
Sir, isn't the two side always a hypotenuse?
Wait.
Since
Two.
opposite the 90 degree.
Yes, 2 is hypotenuse. But what is the ratio for sine?
So it's opposite over hypotenuse. Okay, so I agree.
Yes. So let's say it was a mistake, and then let's correct it. So when you punch all of that, what does it give? When you punch all of this, what are the new answer?
3/4.
3/4.
3/4. Yes. Kabza, you have fought, honorable member. You have fought. But you see that smallanyana mistake there. So that means we might need to be careful when it gets to that part to say, can you see, honorable member has done the most important work there. And then just that minor mistake there, then it makes that incorrect. Maybe the other one who also wanted to give it a try, did you also get this, or did you try it differently? Because I'm also about to work it out, but differently, not in that same way. Anyone who wanted to give it a try before I work it out? Okay, let me remove all of these.
Sir, can I give it a
and
try?
Then, yes, give it a try, honorable member.
So,
Give
sir,
it a try.
I was gonna
Mhm.
say like cos 180 minus 30 squared.
Cos 180 degrees minus
Minus
what?
30 squared. 30.
Mhm. Mm-hmm.
and then just punch it into the calculator.
Hey, 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 hey.
How say? It's very easy like that. So just watch the old thing.
Landisa. But I'm telling you, if this question is allocated 5 marks and you do it this way, I'm going to give you only 1 mark and you lose 4 marks.
Okay, sir. If the next step is required, then
so
I would say cos 30 squared. I would say cos 30 squared.
Cos 30 squared.
Negative, sir. Negative cos.
Okay. Okay. Why negative? Oh, iphuma phi negative?
Because it's cos 180 minus cos is in the third quadrant, so it's negative.
Second,
so it's negative.
Oh, okay. Okay. Masiqhubeke ke. Next step.
Yes. And then we know cos 30 is
na?
a special angle. Yes, sir.
Which is what you saying 1/2. We know they say it's 1/2, ne?
Yes, sir. No, sir, it's root 3/2. It's root 3/2, sir.
Root 3/2. Oh, okay. Let's see. Cos adjacent. Okay, no. Now I agree. Okay.
And then, sir, anything we square becomes positive. So when we square the root 3, it stays the same. It's 3. And then squaring the 4, the 2, it's 3/4.
But you still have that negative name. Lwandiswa, you were breaking there. I just want to emphasize something. This negative, it won't go away because you are having a squared. That squared, it squares whatever that is inside the brackets. You still have invisible 1 there. So that's what I'm saying. According to these, you still have that negative. I'm not sure if you get my point on that one regarding the negative, honorable member.
Yes, sir, I get it.
Yes, but I'm glad you made this mistake because that's where most of you guys get it wrong when it is that squared. I'm not sure, Moleboge, if you did attend my grade 11 lesson and you have a better understanding of that squared. Okay, this is what I'm going to do, Bantu Bakiti. To me, squared at all the times, it means 2 of the same thing. So that means they're actually saying cos of 150 degrees times cos of 150 degrees. Then you know this cos of thing is what? Cos of 180 degrees minus 30. 2 of the same thing. Cos of, what is it? 180 degrees minus 30. So what is this? This one, it takes you in that quadrant, and in that quadrant causes negative. So that is why you're going to have negative cos of what is it? 30 degrees. So 2 of the same thing. Whatever that you are having is the same. I'm not sure if I'm moving too fast on this one, but I realize you guys understand it better. Are we still together, guys?
With you. We are with you. We are together.
Lwandiswa uvula isondo in the background. Lwandisa, bayenzani nobabili?
Sir.
Okay. Offense. Are we still together on that one? The Maumis. So can you see?
Yes, sir.
You are having that minus multiplying with that minus, and it ends up being a positive. And obviously, that multiplying by that, this is how you call it Lwandiswa, you say cos squared 30 degrees and not cos 30 degrees squared. But most importantly, this is where that negative disappear. So that means if you have, let's say, sine squared into 360 degrees minus theta, what I'm saying, Moleboge, is that according to Lwandiswa, she was going to say a 360 minus angle it takes you in this quadrant, and in this quadrant sign is negative. Then she was going to write it this way, of which is wrong. What makes it wrong is because of that squared. So that is why I said the squared forces whatever that you are having to be positive. How so? Because this squared, it means two of the same thing. So it's more like you are actually having sine into that 360 minus an angle. Again, sine 360 minus an angle. If you can understand this part, you won't go wrong, because now you realize this thing, it's actually the same as sine angle. And then two of the same thing, you won't need to think, because this has to be the same because of that squared. So this is where that negative disappears. That and that, they cancel. Then you now have a positive sign. So it doesn't matter whether there is tan and it's negative in that quadrant. It will end up being positive tan. Doesn't matter whether it's cos in that quadrant is positive. It will end up being positive. Does it make sense, honorable members? That part of the squared. Done and
Yes, sir.
dusted, nay. Because you don't only need to know, but you need to understand what makes it to be positive. So now, can you see, honorable members, you can easily say, using your special angle, you know that cos there you have adjacent, which is the root of 3, and then you are having that. But remember that squared there. That squared, it makes it 3 over 4. So the big, that one of using the formula, it's in most cases where you use it when you prove identities. You can still apply it here, but it's more like you are taking a long try. You will understand when we get to that part to say, when you use that formula, you only use it if you realize there's another sign on the equation, so that you convert this to make it a sign to work it out with the other sign that you'll be having. But in this case, you won't need to worry about that one. I'm not sure, honorable member, if you get that part. It was correct, but it's going to be a long try, or the reason for you to use it, you might not need to apply it in this case. Does it make sense to everyone before quickly we jump onto that one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 100%. I'll just make a tick there, and then very quickly we move on to the next one. Let's remember to make some more mistakes, guys. Don't be happy when we get everything correct. It's not healthy. Let's see. The next one, number 6, we are having tan of negative 300 degrees. What is this one? Multiplying sin 600 degrees. Yes, yes. Anyone would like to give it a try?
So should I go for it?
Yes, yes, honorable member. Go for it, and I pray that you get it wrong.
So don't be like that. Okay, so you be like 10 in bracket.
The big. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna say 10 360. No, it's Yeah, you're gonna add 360 to negative 300. And then in the next bracket, so you're gonna be like, no, the next, yeah, you're gonna say sin 360 times 2. No, wait, sir. 360. Yeah, it is times 2. 360 times 2
I think my
minus
network is poor.
times 2, sir. Minus 600.
Minus
600, sir.
Then minus
So I said
600. Oh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
So, sir, you know that
I think network on my side is poor.
it's gonna give you 10. 1060.
Oh,
sir.
yes. Okay, yes. Now I hear you. So 1060.
Sin 360 multiplied by 2 to 720. Minus 600 gives you 120.
So
please write that.
What am I
that, sir.
writing?
So it's 700.
Okay, let's see. 1060, then sign into
300. No, 700 and.
Oh, okay. Now I hear you. 720
minus 600. So, and then it's
So
gonna give you.
network is poor on my side, so sometimes you are breaking. But I'll just let you know in case if I can't hear you. But let's see. I suppose you're still going to have 1060 times.
Yes.
This is where I now need you. What is that minus that? I think that's where you are taking us.
100.
Okay. What is that minus that?
It's 120.
Is it 180?
120, sir.
Oh, 120. Okay.
So, sir, 1060. Don't start with that one. Opposite, which is 2, and adjacent, which is 1.
Hey, Bantu Pakiti, special angles.
No, sir. No, sir.
Very much important that at all the times. Hey.
So it's gonna be square root of 3.
Let's see. There is that. That is that.
Square root of 3, sir.
Okay, let's see. Square root of 3 over 1. Okay. Maybe let's put it inside the brackets because it's going to multiply with that. So what about this one? What are we having there?
So you're gonna say sin 180 minus minus 60.
Oh yes, 60. Obviously, there we have the root of 3 times a positive sign 60. I think here I can just continue. Then you will just let me know if I'm misrepresenting you or not. Let's see. Sine 60 is no opposite over that. Opposite is that over that. This is what you are saying, most honorable member. And then
yes, sir.
When you multiply square root of 3 by square root of 3, it's the same as square root of 9. Because you multiply the inside. It's 3 times 3 is 9. Square root of 9 is 3. So it's more like you end up having a 3 over 2 for that one. So
yes, sir.
Is the honorable member of the opposition party correct with that one? This is the final answer that she's getting. So the big punch this thing on your calculator and check if it gives you 3/2. That somewhere you made a mistake.
It's supposed to be negative 3/2.
Mm-hmm. Does it also give you 3/2 when you punch all of that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me also punch it. Let me also punch it and see. When you say tan of negative 300, you close, and then you say times sine of 600. Hey, this one gives negative 3/2.
It's negative 3/2.
This one gives so that means somewhere something went wrong. Somewhere something went wrong. Okay, maybe let's try okay, since you've done it this way, honorable member, let me also try a different way of doing it. You will just check if because you know what I can say, Kabelo just proved 2 times that you can actually work out this type of problems differently. It all depends on your understanding. But most importantly, there is a minor mistake of which also myself, I couldn't detect where was the mistake. But if I had to do it that way myself, I think I would have also either got lost or detected them. So it's more like do it the way you understand it. So what you did, Kabza, it is the right approach. It may be long, but we might have made a minor mistake which resulted us in getting that. Maybe let's try this. Check out this. Do you guys still remember that when you have tan into negative angle, doesn't the law allow us to write it that way? Can someone just confirm for me there? Does the law allow us to write it that way?
It does.
Okay. If it does, then I'm going to do the same there and say I'm having negative tan off. How else can I write that 300? Because obviously it's going to be 300 here. So it's more like 300. Is it not the same as that? I think it is. I think it is. So can you see? That's how I can say maybe you easily work out that one. I'm just not sure if it makes sense to everyone what I've done there before I go deeper. Does it make sense to everyone? I think it does. So this one, this is how I used to do it, Kabza. Anything greater than 360 degrees, I used to assume it to be falling in this quadrant where all the trig ratios are positive. What do I mean by that? If you have 360 degrees plus, let me not give a value, but say that. If you have cos, it could be tan, it could be sine. What I'm saying is, because it's greater than 360, I always assume it to fall in this quadrant. That means I'm going to have positive cos angle or sine positive, positive sine, positive that, positive that. Let me apply it there and see if it's going to work. So what I'm saying is, since this is greater than 360, I'm assuming it to be falling in the first quadrant. So that means here, you are having sine of 360 degrees plus. What is that value? When you plus it with this, it gives you that. Let's see. 360 minus 600. That's how you can work it out. It gives you 240. So that means this is now going to be 240 degrees. So can you see? I just said 360 plus whatever. I always assume it to be falling in the first quadrant. But before we even get to this one, let's now work out this part. I hope I'm not losing you guys on that one. Hey guys, I'm on 1%. Let me quickly get a charger. Hello, I come back. Hey, I just went out for 2 seconds and you guys are making noise. Tumza the Tumza. Ungwechi ba rasa mos. Okay, let's see. Just to confirm, can you guys still be able to hear me? And can you see there?
Yes.
Yes, we can hear and see there.
Okay, last thing, okay, maybe while I'm still switching on this device, I just wanted to quickly check if this thing is still recording, but I hope it does. Okay, let's see. This is what I was saying. So that means I'm actually going to have
You're breaking.
minus 60 takes me in this quadrant, and in that quadrant hand is negative tan of 60 there. Then this one, okay. Hamisa, am I still breaking, honorable member?
Yes.
Maybe let me try another device. Ntabiseng, am I still breaking or am I breaking on your side? Minentle, am I breaking from your side?
Yeah, also break sharp no.
Okay. So this is what I was saying. This 360 plus 240, I assume it to be falling in the first quadrant. Why? Because a 360 plus, and in the first quadrant, all trig ratios are positive. Then now I'm going to see, can you see this by that? It makes it positive tan of 60 degrees. Then now you can work it nicely to say, this is now actually say sine of, what will it be? I think it's 180 plus, what is it going to be? Is it 60?
60, sir.
Yes. So now this one, using that special angle again, just This special angle is very much important, guys. 60 is there, and then you have the root of 3, 1, 2 there. Tan 60 is what? Tan. Okay, yes. Opposite over adjacent times, what is this one?
It's negative. It's going to be sine negative 60 because it's in the third quadrant. So it's going to be negative sine 60 because it's going to fall into the third quadrant. Yes.
Now that means I'm having that over that, which ends up being that. And then let's see this one. What is that one? It's obviously negative, being that negative. What is what? What is Sinoa? Sinoa. Yes. Sinoa is opposite over hypotenuse, being that. And then that times that. This is where it gives you that 3. You still have that negative there. And then over 2. Then it's done. I'm not sure if I'm losing you guys on that one. So it's more like the approach here. It's for you to remember the law, which says when you have this into negative, you are allowed to take it to the outside. Then you can now work it out nicely. And then this one, that's why I'm saying I've done too many of this type of problems during my high school time until I realized that actually not worry that much, Moleboge. Anything which is greater than and in this quadrant, all the trig ratios are positive, just like I did there. Then can you see, now it's an angle which I can nicely work it out. Even though that means actually 600, this is where it lands in real life. So it's actually 360 up to there. And then now it goes another 90, another 90, another extra where it lands to an extra of 240 after that 360. So it's more like this thing, it rotates from 0, 360, another 90, another 90, another smaller value, which is 60. Yes, another 90, another 90, then another 60. That this is where it lands in third quadrant, where the 600. So that is what happens in real life when an angle is more than 360. So it's 360 plus whatever angle. That angle that is extra is 240, which means it's 90, another 90, another smaller angle, where from 360 takes you to there. Then what I'm saying is, instead of thinking it that way, you just say 360 plus. I always assume it for it to be taking me in that quadrant where all trig ratios are positive. Then from there, that's when I'm going to now work it nicely after I get a value which is less than that. I'm not sure if honorable members are getting me on that one. Jackie, do you understand that I'm trying to explain, honorable member?
I'm okay, I'm satisfied.
Okay, 100%. So I think, yes, when we punched all of that, it gave us a negative value. So Kabza, even your approach is correct. I'm just suspecting that somewhere we made a mistake when it comes to the science. And I think if you can try again, we'll notice that. But whichever way that you work it out, just remember that it's not only one way to this type. Maybe quickly, let's look at that one. And we'll see if we look at the last one. You guys are in grade 12. You don't have time. So we just have to push until we complete the LLM. Let's see. Cos of negative 200 degrees over sine A. But maybe this one, let me work it out, guys. Let me work it out considering the time. Okay, let's see. Maybe let's check. Can you see you're having negative there? So don't go far. Maybe just say negative cos 200 for now. And then say over. You can even say sine 290. The reason why you write this is just to show that you actually removed the brackets, because the rule allows you to take out that to the outside. But maybe when it comes to cos, it might not be the case, which means we will now have to talk a different story. Let's now discover something. That's what I like about trigonometry having the numbers. So that means, Bantu Bagiti, that means if you punch cos of negative 200, according to what I did there, where I say that is the same as cos of 200, here comes the question. When you punch this and that, does it give you the same answer? Yes or no?
Sir.
Yes and no. Since when you're putting the negative inside, it gives you a negative answer, and when you're putting it outside, it gives you a positive one. It's the same answer but different like signs.
Same answer. Yes.
Same
I
answer,
agree with
but
that one.
different sign.
It's wrong. That means this is wrong. It has to be the same sign. And this is how I used to make conclusions, guys. To say, okay, that means that law is not applicable to all trig ratios. So that means only if you have sine into negative angle, whatever angle, this is the one which is negative sine angle. But if you have a, let's maybe say tan negative theta, it gives you negative tan theta. But if you have, only if you have a cos of negative angle, this is the one that gives you positive angle. And Kabza, I like to make conclusive statements. For me, I remember concluding that every time when you have sign of negative that, sign of negative whatever, or whatever, I always concluded that to be taking me in the fourth quadrant. So it's more like there is an invisible 360 degrees there. That is why a Kabza, with this type of questions, she approached that by including that negative, that invisible 360 degrees there. And the reason to that is so that it takes you to this quadrant. So a conclusive statement would be, when you have sine, tan, or cos into negative angle, always assume it for it to be taking you in the fourth quadrant. Let's maybe try to check. That means if you are having sign of negative angle, we say it takes you in this fourth quadrant. So in the fourth quadrant, is sign positive or negative? Sign is negative. That is why you end up having a negative that. So now, what about tan? Tan negative that. Tan in this quadrant, is it positive or negative? It's negative. That is why for tan into negative angle, it's equals to negative tan angle. But when it comes to cos in this quadrant, is it positive or negative? Cos is positive. That is why for this one, of course, negative that, it's actually positive cos angle. So a conclusive statement is to say, when you have sign, it doesn't matter whether it's sign of negative 680. For the fact that it's sign of a negative value, you can assume it to be taking you into this quadrant, where in this quadrant you can say it's negative. Then you take that negative to the outside. Then can you see, because it's a value greater than 60, then you can now assume it to be taking you into that quadrant, and then you do it that way I've explained. Does it make sense in terms of that conclusive statement? I see Charlotte is on the line. Charlotte, I'm not sure, honorable member, if what I've just explained makes sense. Bosisiwe. How? Show me. Does it make sense, honorable namhlanje? I think it does.
It makes sense. It's just that I'm not feeling well today.
The video is paused. Let's see. Guys, can okay, now I think you can see. Chumile Chumis, I got your point, honorable member, when you said you're not feeling well, and then soon after that there was an incoming call. That is why I was a bit disconnected there. So you did well by joining, honorable member. With you observing, that's how you learn. Okay, let's see. I'm glad it makes sense. So now this course, it is positive. You now understand why it is positive. Then I think now we can easily keep on getting this call. Maybe let me try to connect with my phone. Let me do this. Hello, I come back. Let me try to bring the camera. Sure. Let's see. So this is that device which ran out of a battery. The other one, it's actually getting some incoming calls. Okay, let me quickly continue. Let's see. Is it fine now? Can you see? Can you hear me before I continue? Someone just to confirm.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see. Cos of 200 in which quadrant? In this quadrant. So that means we're having cos of 180 degrees plus. What is that extra? I think it's 20. Is it 20? I think it's 20. Yes. Over. Now let's see. Sine 290 in which quadrant? In this quadrant. Okay. So that means it's sine of, I can maybe say 360 degrees minus. What am I going to minus for it to give me that? I think it's 60, I think it's 70. I think it's 70. Because that minus that, yes. Okay, so now can you guys see we are having cos 180 plus in this quadrant. Cos is what? It's negative. Yes, I think so. So that is why I'm going to say negative that. And then sine 360 minus, it takes me into that quadrant, and their sign is negative. So that is why I'm going to say negative sine of 70 there. That cancels with that. Are we still on the same page on that one, honorable members, or did I lose you there?
Same page.
We are on the same page.
Same page. 100%. So now, can you guys see? We have acute angle, we have acute angle. So that means we can't use reduction formula because those angles are already reduced. But now you are having a 20 there, 70 there. So you can use that complementary line, the cofunction, in order to make these angles the same. So it's up to you which one to use. Maybe I can say 20 is the same as cos of is it 90 degrees minus what is it? Is it minus 70? Yes. Yes. Then I'm going to say a 90 minus, it takes me in the first quadrant where all the trig ratios are positive, and then cos changes to its cofunction, which is what? Which is sine. So that means I'm having a sine 70 there, sine 70 there. Then these two cancel out and you end up having 1. So it's more like if you punch all of that, does it give you 1? If it does, then it means it's correct. Does it give you 1 when you punch the whole of that?
Yes, sir.
%. But did you all
Yes, sir.
understand all of that, or am I losing you there? Bonke tamabongis. Uthulile
All
namhlanje,
clear,
angazi
sir.
ukuthi kwenze njani. Offense, are you sure I'm not flying, honorable member? I feel like I'm flying there. And manje ungathi usaba ukuntshela ukuthi hey, ungathi manje
I'm alright.
ngibele i-flight manje. 100%. Guys, you are in grade 12. You don't have time to be sleeping. Today, you are not watching Gomorrah. Siyasebenza. Some of you guys are just remaining with, we are now counting hours. Very soon, you'll be writing. So remember, guys, in case if you've got some agent staff and you only had an hour to attend, don't stress that much by attending to agent staff. This lesson is being recorded. That part that you missed, just make sure to catch it up, because if you don't, then it becomes a problem. So let's try by all means to push so that we know we have covered a lot. Let's see. Seems like most of you guys are still here, even though Litulile. Otembele, am I not losing you, honorable member? You are quiet today. There is Kujo Tobejani. Kujo Tobejani, Sisase Sonke.
Yes,
Nkanyizi is there. Bokamuso Mohapi is there. Lwandile is there. Okay, we're still together. Okay, so let's see. Now, this one. How am I going to work out this one? Okay. Egdeng. This one, I might not need to reduce it, but you just need to remember that cos of 180 degrees. I think this one, we already know that it gives us a -1 most, because we know if it's cos of what is it, 0 degrees, it gives us what? This one, I think it gives us, is it +1? Is it 1 which is positive, or it's 0? I think it's 1 or 0. No, I think it's 1, this one. Let me quickly check.
Yes, it's 1.
Cos of
I
180
checked.
is -1. Cos of 0. Yes. So can you see, honorable member? I had to test that so that here I can write a -1. Then I can easily go to this one. In which quadrant you do that? Cast. Okay, to that, it takes me into this quadrant. So that is why I'm going to say sine of 180 degrees plus. What are we plusing with there? If you say 20 plus 25 is 45. Yeah, I think that is the one. This one is cos of 80. You can't reduce it. That is why you're going to write it as it is. Remember, guys, if it's already an acute angle, just write it as it is. Don't think of applying the cofunctions as yet. Do what is doable, and then when you get to the end where you have all acute angles, that's when you can choose which one to change. So let's see. What about this one? We are having sine of that one in which quadrant? In this quadrant there. And I think it is that one of 180 degrees minus 10 degrees. Let's not rush it and do it nicely. This one in which quadrant? I think in the second quadrant. Nay, yes. And let's maybe use it ka 180 minus. I think it's minus 45. Let me not make myself ngondo there and punch it. Yes. Okay, let's see. Obviously, this one is -1. It will just be -1. But this one, in which quadrant? Yes. Is it a question coming through?
Yes, it is a question. Mogo 10, and 10 I negative in the second quadrant.
Which one is it? Are you referring to 10 or tan?
That one, yeah, tan 180.
Yes. So it's more like I'm saying is tan 180 minus what angle? That takes you back to there. So we haven't started applying the reduction formula. We're just rewriting that in this form. Why born nomos?
Yeah,
Okay. Let's see. Okay, I was saying this one is just -1. And then this one in which quadrant? Oh, yes, I was saying in the third quadrant, and this is negative. So can you see? You still have that -1, and you have negative sine of 45 degrees. Yes. I think I'm correct. So now this one is already acute angle. You can't reduce it. That is why you just write it as. Okay, now it's okay. I was disconnected there, but just to confirm, Jackie, is it still clear? Is the coast clear?
Yes, I can see it clear.
Okay. Now let's see. Sine that takes me to that quadrant, and sine in there is positive. So that is why I'm going to have positive sine 10. And then now let's see that one in which quadrant? In quadrant number 2. And in quadrant number 2, that is this is negative. So that means I'm going to have negative tan 45 degrees there. I think I can just say that negative cancels with that. Then, what am I having now? I am now, let's say, having sine 45 degrees multiplied by. So can you see already you notice between these two, you will need to change something. Maybe let's change this one at the top. And then now in this case, Kabelo, I'm going to just make it a standard for myself to say every time when I have acute angles, I always change the one at the top to match the one at the bottom. Then I know every time that's how I do it so that I don't confuse myself as to which one do I change. And this is you undecisive during exam. So I just make a conclusion to say, I'll always change that one at the top. So that means it's going to be cos of 90 degrees minus what? Minus that one of 10. Maybe try to show it, even though you know it's going to end up being that. Show it just in case if it's allocated some marks. Then you will score that mark because you explained. So you are still having that negative there. Someone can still write it as a negative tan of that. And then the other one, what they can do is to write it as a fraction. By fraction, I mean, you know, sine is a, what is it? A tan is sine over cos. But the reason why you would write it this way, so that if there are those that cancel, they cancel. But in this case, I won't write it that way. Why? Because I've got a special angle. That is the only reason why I'm just going to write it still as tan 45. And then let's now see. So you have sine 45 degrees. This one obviously is going to take you there to sine 10 degrees over. Let's not rush it, Bantu Bakiti. This one, I think tan 45, we already know most tan 45, it always gives us a 1. I'm not sure if you guys still remember. With 45, it's opposite over adjacent, which gives us 1. And this is that negative that comes from the quadrant in which that angle takes you. So now, I'm not sure if you guys can see that cancelling that and you having negative sine 45. So that means we still have negative sine 45 there. Let's see the special angle for 45. 1, 45. Is it 2 or square root of 2 there? I think it's square root of 2. Hey, wait. Yes. Yes. So now let's see. That means it's negative. What is the ratio there? Sinoa, which is that over the root of that. And this thing, it's in a form of a SAT. It can be rewritten differently. This is where most of you guys either lose it or you just punch that on a calculator and it gives you something else. But this is what they say. And with that chapter of SATs, offensive, you never have a square root as the denominator or at the bottom. You need to remove it. How do you remove it? You multiply this thing by 1. Do you agree that this is 1? How did I know I must do it that way? You multiply it by exactly that at the bottom. So that means if you had 1 over square root of 71, you're going to multiply it by 1, which is a square root of that over square root of that. So this is what tells you how to multiply it. Because this, it cancels that is 1. So you haven't tampered with the whole of that. So now let's see. What happens is this thing multiplies that one inside is 4, and then square root of 4 is 2. So that is why you will always have whatever that is inside there, which is 2. But don't forget that negative there. So what is 1 times that? That is that. So that is why when you punch this thing, it ends up giving you that. So when you punch all of this, if it doesn't give you that, then it's wrong. But if it does, then it means it's correct. What are you guys getting there when you punch all of that?
The same answer, sir.
Hey, same answer. What does it mean, the big?
So I
When it gives
also
us the
got
same answer.
so I also got square root of 2 over 2, and I believe it's that. Yeah, sir, you're correct.
Yes, which means it's correct. So this was the last question, Bantu Bakiti. We have done that one. We have done that one. Mzozozo, lapho Eastern Cape, uthulile kwenze njani lapho? Amanzi alwandle ayachisa or kwenze njani? Uthulile Mzozozo. Ungabe ukhona lapho?
Just observing.
Hey, Mzozozo ukhona. This is that time where I remember you, Mzozozo. But before we do izinto sidume ngazo, anyone who's got a question, or can we now close the parliament? Bantu bakithi. Oh,
No question.
no question from Moleboge's side. Okay. Hey, Bantu Bakiti, I almost forgot something very, very much important. So I'm busy working on the timetable to amend it so that it suits what is it? So that it suits our way of doing lessons. So there is going to be a new tutor who's going to be joining us, and the reason to that is so that we can offer extra support, especially considering the fact that it's only me doing maths, physics is the other tutor, and then some of you guys will be writing sometime in May. So I am working on a timetable, but now the only changes could be instead of you attending physics Monday and then you are going to attend it again on Thursday, a timetable could be such that you attend physics, let's say Monday, then it's physics Tuesday, and then whatever on Wednesday, and then okay, maths on Thursday, and then maths on Friday. Yeah. So there's going to be some updates, and this is how it might look like. It's just the rearrangement, and also to balance so that it doesn't clash with other grades. And also, just in case if you are if you are writing May, June, I'm going to also send the link right after this lesson. And then once I've sent that link, this is going to be the link. Only if you are writing May, June. Only if you are writing May, June. Best essay tutor. Yes, you click on this link and then it's going to open an inbox where you normally chat with our manager. Then you're just going to say, you just write May, June, so that I know you are writing May, June. And then you list the subjects that you are doing. Let's say mathematics, and then let's say physics. Yeah. And whatever chapters that you are doing. So the reason for us doing this is so that on the Monday to Friday, you guys in grade 12, we will check what you've currently covered in school, and then we'll know how to then plan our next lesson. And then for the May, June, I want to have a discussion with you just to check if what I'm having in mind could work for you guys. Considering the fact that there will be someone new, just to make sure that you guys are prepared. So the code for today's lesson, in case if you are writing May, June, I think you can, you'll just see. No, let me do it this way. If you are in grade 12, the code for today, you just write the chapters that you've already covered in school and what you are currently doing. So if you've already done functions, you're just going to say functions. If you've already done a sequence and series number pattern, if you've already done that part of the solve for X, you write it. If you are now on trigonometry, then you can, the last one is going to be the one that you're currently doing in school. You just comment in the group as a learner with a list of the subjects that you are currently that you have completed, the last one being the one that you're currently doing. Just so that on the Monday to Friday, we make sure we play around what you guys are already, what you've already done or what you are currently doing. And then now, for the May-June gang, what will be your code? Okay, your code will be those chapters. Let's say 3 of the chapters, 1, 2, 3 of the chapters that you find difficult or that you wish you could be well prepared on those. So that means if you're doing maths and physics, 1 chapter for maths. No, let's do for maths today. I will speak to ma'am to make you guys do that for physics. But for now, because it's maths, you just comment with 3 chapters that you feel like, if I can grab these ones, I'm telling you, come May, June, kuzoshuba. I'm not sure. Did you guys understand the code for today? Because I think it's more like a mini prayer. I'm just not sure if prayer zam sifikile ezulwini.
Want to
Lebandla la
clarify
kaNkulunkulu.
something? So,
Okay.
are we only writing for maths, or we're writing all the subjects we do, just specifically math subject
Oh,
topics,
yes,
which
a
we
good question. No. Only, let's say only for maths. Yeah, let's say only for maths if you're in grade 12. Only for maths. Write the chapters that you have done, and the last one be the one that you are currently doing. Yes. You got it, Musamisa.
Yes.
Letoya, James. Did you get it? Leslie, did you guys understand today's code?
Yes, but I'm only writing in December.
Oh, okay. No, then it's fine. So you fall under the May-June gang. So yeah, you fall in there. So that means the May-June gang, you will comment, and then you will still click on that link, and then just write that. Don't greet, don't do anything Bantu Bakiti. We no longer have time to be greeting each other. You just straight to the point, May-June gang, and then you list whatever that you'll be writing in May-June. December gang, you also fall in there, you will do the same. So this, maybe let me clarify this last point. This, when you click on this link, it opens an inbox. Most of you guys, sometimes you think you'll be chatting with me there. Sometimes it's me, sometimes it's admin, sometimes it's our manager who manages a Telegram. So never assume always when you're chatting with that, you're chatting with me. So Telegram, it's advanced such that we can access that same inbox. So I think Mzozozo, is that time singayenza izinto zidume ngazo. I'm about to sign out Mzozozo. Uyangivumela? Seems like Mzozozo is not here, but let me run away. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Desmond. You guys have a very good night. Some of you guys I'll see tomorrow on your weekend extra lesson. Good people, my name is Desmond, and I'm out.